What's going on, YouTube? Rivas Talk Sports here, back at it again with a brand new Green Bay Packers mock draft. We took care of the third round, took care of the fourth round. We are going to increase an additional round. This is a fifth round mock draft for the Green Bay Packers. So without further ado, let's hop into the video. So in the third round, we took care of the defensive tackle position. Fourth round, the latest video, we took care of the edge position. We are going to switch a position up in this mock draft. And the one position that I can see the Green Bay Packers targeting is the cornerback position. As of right now, Jair Alexander is still on the team. The expectation for them is to trade Alexander, which will mean there will be a starting rotation of Nate Hobbs, Carrington Valentine, and Keyshawn Nixon. Hobbs have yet to play a full NFL season. Valentine has not played more than 70% of defensive snaps, and he did share snaps with Eric Stokes. And Keyshawn Nixon, we do not know how his CB1 season is going to look like. And the Packers, they lose a lot of cornerbacks in free agency. I do see the Green Bay Packers taking long-term at the position in terms of depth as well. In true Brian Gutenkunst fashion, I can definitely see him building the suspense for fans, especially in Green Bay where the draft is being held at. So instead of sticking and picking like I have been in the past two videos, we are going to trade back to the late first round. And the trade candidate that I do see is with the Buffalo Bills. According to the Rich Hill trade value chart, this is what I was able to come up with for the Buffalo Bills. We're going to give the Bills pick 23. We will take pick 30, 132, and 169. We're going to go back and get pick 30 and get two day 3 picks, which is what Gutenkunst loves. He is a master in terms of picking day 3 draft prospects. So we're going to propose that trade, confirm it, and that has been accepted. So here we are at pick 30 for the Green Bay Packers. Let's look at the cornerback position. And the one prospect that I do see being a perfect fit for the Green Bay Packers, and that is Trey Amos. He has the height. He has the weight. He did not have a blow-it-up combine like Nick Emenwari, but he did have some good athleticism at the combine. Senior Bowl standout. He has coverage versatility. He could play zone. He could play man. Great run defender. He is very physical. He is not afraid to play press man and jam you right into your chest. There are instances where he can be a bit indecisive on coverages, and he does tend to use his hands a lot, which could probably lead to a lot of DPIs in the NFL, but if he can work on some techniques, I'm sure Jeff Hafley could definitely work with that. I think Trey Amos will be a great fit, especially moving back to the late first round, getting additional day 3 picks, and selecting a prospect like Trey Amos, who I believe could be a plug-and-play starter, and add some competition to this cornerback room. And if anything were to happen to any of the cornerback positions, he is definitely a plug-and-play cornerback. I do like Trey Amos to the Green Bay Packers in the first round. We're going to switch things up, different positions. Trey Amos to the first round for the Green Bay Packers. All right, pick 54, second round for the Green Bay Packers. And with Christian Watson being out up until week 12, week 13, there seems to be a lack of explosiveness and spark to this Green Bay Packers wide receiver core. The Packers did not target a free agent wide receiver. I can definitely see the Green Bay Packers targeting a wide receiver within probably the first 3 rounds, first 2 rounds. Let's take a look at the wide receiver position, and no other prospect that I can see the Packers taking, and that is Jaden Higgins. Great relative athletic score, very athletic wide receiver, 6'4", 214 pounds. And if the Packers were to stay at pick 54 and Jaden Higgins is there, you run that card in and you select him. I think he adds inside out versatility, very explosive. He can bring that Christian Watson-like aspect to his game, and I think that will be huge for this offense. Stretch the field down, get Dobbs involved, Wicks, Reed, open up things up for Tucker Kraft. I think Jaden Higgs is a run the card in type pick. If Jaden Higgins is there, we're going to select Jaden Higgins in the second round. I think that'd be a huge pick. Cornerback first, wide receiver in the second, switch things up a little bit in this mock draft. All right, round 3, pick 87. The one position that I can see the Green Bay Packers targeting, we took at the cornerback position, wide receiver position. We need to add more heat to the pass rush. Right now is Lucas Van Ness on the edge, Rashawn Gary on the edge, and both did not have the season that we all expected them to have this past season. They did fire the defensive line coach, and we did bring a new one in, so maybe a new coach can kind of get that new pass rush on unleashed to this defensive core, but we need to add more competition, more heat to the edges. We saw what happened playing against the Vikings, the Detroit Lions, and the Eagles. We have to apply pressure to opposing quarterbacks. Let's look at the defensive position, look at who's available at edge, and the one prospect that I really love for the Green Bay Packers, and that is edge Jordan Burch, 6'4", 279 pounds, and he pretty much fits the Green Bay Packers threshold in terms of the edge position. 6'4", and the Packers love edges at 260 pounds plus, 279 pounds here. I'm sure he can add some type of versatility to this Packers team. He could probably be in a 5-tech, 7-tech stand up, but I believe with this versatility and just having that threshold that Green Bay Packers do like, I think bringing Jordan Burch to this room can probably light a fire under Rashawn Gary's ass, probably light a fire under Luke Van Ness's ass. But I feel like just adding more heat to this edge group is definitely key. This past season, 8.5 sacks, 11 tackles for loss in 2024. Brian Gutenkunst was at the Oregon Pro Day, and I'm sure he probably saw firsthand of Jordan Burch. So we're going to go ahead and select Jordan Burch, edge out of Oregon. I think this would be a huge pick for the Green Bay Packers and kind of getting the edge position taken care of within the first 3 rounds. All right, round 4, pick 124. We got the edge, we got the cornerback, we got the wide receiver. I do think that the Green Bay Packers need to really get beefy in the defensive trenches. And if CJ West is here at 124, I do see the Green Bay Packers selecting CJ West. We do need a TJ Slayton replacement. Devontae Wyatt is in his final year of the rookie deal. We do not know what his long-term outlook is for the Green Bay Packers. And Kenny Clark did not have the season we expected him to have, but we need to kind of add more beef, more competition, and even think long-term in the defensive trenches. And I do like CJ West here, 6'1", 316 pounds, and he kind of blew it up at the NFL Combine with a nice relative athletic score of 9.14. The Green Bay Packers love prospects with that kind of relative athletic score, but some people might think that he's a bit undersized, but he does have nice pass rush moves, nice block shedding abilities, and that's something that we need at the defensive tackle position. I know CJ Slayton was number 1 with run stop win rate this past season, but we definitely need a defensive tackle to pretty much cause havoc against centers, against guards, and I think CJ West would be a great fit for the Green Bay Packers at the defensive tackle position. Let's go ahead and select CJ West for the Green Bay Packers, beef up the defensive tackle. All right, and here we are in round 4, pick 132, and the one positional group that I can't see the Packers targeting probably within the first 4 rounds as well is beefing up the offensive line. I do know that the Packers did sign Aaron Banks to be the left guard, but there is some doubts at the future for the offensive line, right? Rasheed Walker is in his final year's rookie deal. So is Sean Ryan. So is Zach Tom. And with Elton Jenkins being at center, there tends to be a huge cap hit, especially at the center position. The Packers definitely need to think long-term on the offensive line. And we saw how crucial it was to this offensive line group with Jenkins going down, Josh Myers going down against the Philadelphia Eagles. We definitely need to protect Jordan Love, especially if we're paying that much money. Protecting Jordan Love is definitely key for this Packers team for the longevity of his contract and longevity of his career. Let's go ahead and take an offensive tackle, whether that's thinking long-term at the left tackle position or maybe interior guard, but we're going to go ahead and take the best player available on the offensive tackle position just to kind of beef up the tackle position. I know if Rasheed Walker leaves, I know Morgan can potentially move there, but let's say Jordan Morgan beats out Sean Ryan in the offseason, and let's say hypothetically Morgan has a Pro Bowl caliber season. Do you move Morgan to left tackle, or do you don't fix what's not broken and leave Morgan there? We don't know, but we definitely need to kind of protect the tackle position, kind of beef up the offensive line. Let's go ahead and select best player available. We're going to select Anthony Belton, 6'6", 336 pounds. Nice relative athletic score, so he's pretty athletic, excels in pass protection using his size, footwork, and keeping edges at bay. We definitely need to beef up the offensive line. Let's go ahead and select an offensive tackle here. Anthony Belton. All right, round 5, pick 159. I do see the Green Bay Packers double dipping at certain positions in the NFL draft. And if there is one position that I can't see the Packers double dipping, especially late in day 3, is the defensive tackle position. Brian Gutenkunst is emphasizing causing havoc and pressure with 4 defensive linemen on the field. And I can see him double dipping with the defensive tackle position. We took care of CJ West. I think we should kind of revamp that defensive line group. And I see we could go ahead and probably select the best player available in the defensive tackle position right here, and that is JJ Peggs. I don't know if I'm saying his last name right, but he is a tight end converted to defensive tackle at Ole Miss. He has nice versatility. I'm pretty sure he could probably play 3-tech, 5-tech, but he has huge upside, and I believe just him being in a group with Devontae Wyatt, Kenny Clark, and then with CJ West, and kind of just get the development of JJ Peggs into defensive line. I do see the Packers kind of beefing up the defensive line, especially on both sides of the ball, but I do like the Green Bay Packers beefing up the defensive line here. So we're going to go ahead and double dip at the defensive tackle position. And last but not least, I believe this is the last pick for the Green Bay Packers at pick 169. Let's look at our options here. We can take a look at the edge position, cornerback. Let's see what else we got here. Linebacker, wide receiver. Let's see what's on the board here. Let's see what's on the board here. We don't need a running back. Maybe a quarterback, but I can see that being an option in round 7. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and get a flyer in here, and I say that we probably kind of think long term at the offensive center position. We don't know what the depth is like at the center position. Right now, I know Alton Jenkins is moving to center, but I do see that the Green Bay Packers will like to kind of throw some flyers at the defensive line position, get the development going. The Packers are probably one of the top organizations in the NFL draft in terms of developing offensive linemen, and I can see them getting a pure center in the draft at some point here. So we go ahead and select one of the top centers here in the NFL draft, Jake Myers. All right, and there you have it. This is a recap of my 5-round mock draft for the Green Bay Packers. Pick 30, Trey Amos. 54, Jaden Higgins. 87, Jordan Burch. 127, CJ West. 132, Anthony Belton. 159, JJ Peggs, defensive tackle out of Ole Miss, and getting that center at pick 169. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed the content, please give the video a thumbs up and comment below on your thoughts on this 5-round mock draft for the Green Bay Packers. You can even give it a grade A through F. You can put that in the comment sections as well. Thank you so much, and catch you guys next time.